Hey everybody, my name's Robin Bady and I'm a storyteller. I am also a teaching artist with Flushing Town Hall, where we believe that global arts are for global kids. Well, I'm talking with you about fairy tales, and you know, in a fairy tale, the main characters, usually a young boy and or a young girl, or both, they have allies. People or animals or magical creatures that help them. You must have allies in your life. Who is it that helps you when you get in trouble or you need to go somewhere? In fairy tales, as you know, the characters have long journeys and terrible obstacles, and they need help. And that's what the allies are for, as in our real lives. Well, the story I'm going to tell you is a story about a boy who has many allies. And you will see that this story is very much like a story from Germany called the Parental musicians. But as you're listening to it, think, how is this story like yours? Where have you found allies? If you were to place it in New York City or San Francisco or Guadalajara, wherever it is you are, who are the people, the creatures, the dogs, the cats, the birds who help you? This is the story of Jack and the animals. Well, once upon a time, long time ago, Jack, he was tired of working so much all the time. Every day his father had a big, long list of things for him to do. And his mother kept at him until he got them all done. And he never could finish anything, which meant when his father came home, he'd be yelling at him. And oh boy, Jack was tired. He worked too hard, and he decided that he had to find himself a new life. So one morning, very, very early, which had to be early before his parents got up, it was really early. He packed himself a backpack had some food in it, and he went on down the road, saying to himself, I'm off to find a new life. And as he walked down the life, he started whistling to himself, thinking what a beautiful day it was, the perfect day to find himself a new life, when he saw an old, broken down bull on the side of the road. He went to that bull and he said, Bull, what's your problem? You look really unhappy. And the bull said, I am unhappy. My master thinks I'm broken down and worth nothing, and he's going to get rid of me. I don't know what to do. And Jack said, well, hey, why don't you come along with me? I'm off to find a new life. I'd love to have your company. And so the two of them walked down the road together, talking to each other and laughing, when they came upon a dog. And the dog looked so beat up, and his paws were over his head. And the dog was kind of crying to himself. And Jack said, hey there, dog, what's your problem? And the dog said, oh, I'm so old, and my master is going to be getting rid of me. I have no teeth left, and I have no energy. I don't know what to do. And Jack said, hey, why don't you come with us? Me and the ox, we're off to find a new life. Well, the dog liked this idea quite a bit. And the three of them went off down the road, talking and cracking jokes and having fun, when they came upon a cat lying by the side of the road. And she was just like this, kind of looked like the dog, if you can believe that. And Jack said, what's up? What is your problem? Why do you look so sad? And she said, meow, Nobody wants me. My teeth are broken. My energy's gone. I'm old. I think they're going to drown me. Meow, what can I do? And Jack said, well, you should join us. We're off to find a new life. And that's when the ox said, you can jump on my back and I'll give you a ride. You too, dog. And so the two of them jumped up on the ox's back and they all kept walking down the road where they came upon an old, sad-looking donkey. Jack said, oh, donkey, you look so unhappy. What is happening to you to make you look like this? And the donkey said, hee-haw, my master wants to get rid of me. I don't know what to do. I'm old. I'm not worth anything anymore. And Jack said, of course you're worth something. Why don't you join us? We're off to find a new life. Donkey liked that idea, and, well, we have the cat, the dog, the ox, the donkey. And Jack, the five of them, set off down the road. When they came upon a rooster on the fence, that rooster looked miserable. That rooster looked bad. That rooster, oh, he couldn't even go cock-a-doodle-doo. He went, nah, nah, nah. And Jack said, Mr. Rooster, our friend, why are you so miserable? Come with us. He didn't even have to ask. But if he had, the rooster would have said, cock-a-doodle-doo, my mistress is tired of me. I don't get up early enough in the morning, and I think she's gonna cut my head off and put me in a pie. The rooster didn't have to say all that. He just said, cock-a-doodle-doo, I'm in. And then the six of them went down the road. And they walked and they walked and they walked. And at some point, they had to stop. And there was grass over there for the donkey and for the ox. And the rooster found seeds and flowers that he could pick the seeds from. And the dog and the cat and Jack shared the food that Jack had brought. And then they get up and they're walking. And they walk into a forest. And you never know what'll happen in a forest. Am I right? Luckily for them, they didn't go too far in before they found a house. And when they opened the door to this house, I mean, there was nobody home. They had already done the polite thing, knock, 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 and no one had answered. When they went in, they found there was no one home, but a lot of food set out. And these animals said, let's eat. And Jack said, good idea. And they ate and ate and ate until they were stuffed. And then they said, well, we better find a place to sleep. And the cat said, meow, I'll go into what looks like a fireplace. I bet it might be a little warm. The dog said, well, I'll go and I'll just sort of lie right by the couch over there by the wall. And the donkey said, I'll go out on the porch. That would be good for me. The ox said, oh, I guess I'm going to go out to the yard, right? That would be a good place for me. And the rooster went flying up to the top of the house and settled there. Now, the truth is that this house did belong, not just to one person, but to a gang of robbers. And they were coming home after they had done a great big haul. They had so many sacks of gold and jewelry and silver. They were so excited. They figured they might be able to live for the rest of their lives on it. And when they got close to the home, the leader said, you know what? I think that you, and he pointed to one man in particular. You should go in, Clyde. Clyde, you should go in and you should set up a fire, Clyde. And when it's warm, we'll come in. Oh, and take the gold. Well, take some of it. Just drop it there. And so Clyde did. He went in And he gathered the wood on the side of the fireplace, and he looked in and he saw these two, well, they looked like fire, like embers. They were really the eyes of the cat. So he decided he would blow on it. Just if you blow on embers, sometimes, you know, they rise up. Well, the cat did not like that one bit. And she stretched out her claws and raked the side of his face. And he just dropped the wood and he stumbled out over by the couch. And the dog was there, and the dog, ruff, 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 and he grabbed the leg and the trouser, and he pulled and bit and pulled and bit until the robber fell down on the floor. Then he got himself up and he went out the door, and there was the donkey, who just gave him a great big kick in his tushy. And he went over the side of the fence, and that's where, as you know, the bull was, and the bull went running at him with his big horns and butted him, well, back to where the robbers were. Bang, he landed there. And the chief robber said, well, that was quick. The fire's gone already. Let's go. No, said Claude. You can. It's spooky in there. It's haunted. When I went to set the fire, there was a witch with great nails who scratched me. Look at my face. And when I fell over on the couch, there was a monster with the biggest jaws of a monster that's... When I fell on the couch, there was a monster with humongous jaws who clamped down on my leg and tried to pull me back to the witch. And then when I went out the door, when I got away from it and I went out the door, oh my goodness, there was a big ogre who kicked me right over to his friend, who was a giant that was so big, and he came at me with, he must have been the king of the giants, because he had a crown on his head, and he flipped me up into the air and sent me back to you, probably as a warning. Meanwhile, all the time, there was a nasty banshee or ghost or creature on the roof going, you gotta get out of here. 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 We've gotta get out of here. And the robber looked at the chief and the others and said, we've gotta get out of here. They all agreed. They dumped the gold and jewels and coins because they couldn't run fast enough with it, and they ran away. Next morning, Jack sat down, made breakfast, everybody came. And they didn't talk about what happened because they weren't really sure what had happened. But they did know that all of a sudden there was gold. And out in the meadow, they saw the jewels. And this was amazing. They had found their better life. And you know, they say that the animals and Jack are living there still, except every now and then Jack goes home to visit his parents because you can see him raking his yard.